Farmers across the world are facing a growing crisis as the Iran war disrupts critical fertilizer supply chains. Near shutdown of the Strait of Hormuz has significantly reduced the flow of fertilizers. The strait typically handles nearly one-third of global fertilizer trade, along with major energy shipments. As a result, supplies of key nutrients like nitrogen and phosphate are tightening. Urea, the most widely used fertilizer, has been among the hardest hit, with around 30% of global trade now affected. The disruption is being compounded by rising natural gas prices, a key input in fertilizer production, pushing costs higher and limiting output.
So, it's not just diesel prices that have risen sharply, but fertilizer prices too, particularly nitrogen. And compared to last year, the price per kilogram of nitrogen has gone up by 50 cents here. A 100-hectare farm needs around 15,000 kilograms of nitrogen, which amounts to between 5,500 and 6,000 euros.
The timing of the disruption is critical, coming just as planting season begins across multiple regions. Fertilizers are most effective when applied at the start of the crop cycle. Delays or shortages at this stage can significantly reduce yields, even if supplies improve later. Farmers, particularly in developing countries, are already cutting back on usage due to rising costs and limited availability. Smallholders, who form the majority of the farming base in countries like India, are especially vulnerable. In regions such as Africa, where some countries rely on the Gulf for over 90% of their fertilizer imports, shortages are already emerging. Even short delays in fertilizer application can reduce crop yields, increasing the risk of weaker harvests. The impact of the fertilizer crunch is expected to extend beyond farms and into global food systems. Lower fertilizer usage typically leads to lower crop output, which in turn can push up food prices. With grain prices already under pressure and farm margins tightening, the ability of farmers to absorb higher costs is limited. Now, governments are stepping in with subsidies and supply prioritization, but these measures add to fiscal pressure and may not fully offset the disruption. With limited spare capacity globally and major producers like China focusing on domestic supply, there are few immediate alternatives to replace the shortfall. If the disruption continues, the current fertilizer crunch could evolve into a broader food inflation cycle.